Hello, beautiful butterflies, and welcome back to Naturally Graceful. If this is your first time, I'm Nina, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about a couple of things. If you want to know something new that you can try to brighten your gray hair, if you have any questions about gray hair, I'm going to be answering those today. And so, like I said, if you want to know those things, keep watching. I hope all of you guys are doing well. The very first thing I want to talk to you about is, like I said, I tried something new with my hair that surprised me. The expectation that I had for this product was for my hair to be soft and to feel moisturized. But the extra benefit that I didn't think I would receive is it helped to brighten my gray a bit. Now, I don't know if it shows well on camera, but when I finished using it, I was just like, wow, my hair looked noticeably brighter. So what product am I talking about? I'm talking about beer. Have you ever tried beer on your hair? Especially natural hair, gray natural hair. If you guys had watched a couple of lives ago, there was a beautiful butterfly by the name of Marissa who came on my live and told me about something called a beer rinse. And I may have heard it in passing before to use it on your hair, but I didn't think it was for natural hair. So Marissa does have curly hair. Her hair is a different texture than mine, so I was a little skeptical as to how the beer rinse would work for me. If you guys would like me to do a video showing you how to do a beer rinse, please let me know in the comments and I will keep that in mind. So I was really nervous about doing this beer rinse because when I went and did my research on it, there was actually a lot of videos, and I actually saw a lot of other women with natural hair on YouTube who did do beer rinses. So I said, okay, this is something that we can do also with more textured hair or coarse hair. So many of the things that I heard, the benefits of beer is it can be a little bit of a strengthening treatment for your hair because it has a little bit of protein in it. I believe it's because of the hops. Don't quote me on it. I don't have all my notes with that, but I know that the hops and the malt in there are good for our hair. It helps your hair to be soft. If you guys are dealing with coarse gray hair, if you want to add some strength to your hair or you want it to be a little bit softer, then beer might be something besides drinking it that you could try for your gray hair. Now, I am not a fan of beer, drinking it. So this was interesting. I also don't like the smell of beer. But using it on my hair, it got 2 thumbs up for me. And you guys could let me know what you think of it, because I mean, my hair was super, super soft. Now, some people I actually heard with the beer, you can also use it not just for a rinse, you can use it to clarify your hair, which I thought was very, interesting. I thought it would just be a use as a rinse. So you can use it to wash your hair, similar to as you would use apple cider vinegar. The only thing is I didn't use anything to dilute the beer. And ironically, the beer that my husband got for me was a Corona beer. And I watched different videos, read different things about exactly how to do it. Some said, make sure it goes flat so you could take the alcohol content out of it, which can be drying to our hair. Some used it as it was. This is going to be one of those, like, if you're into doing experiments and trying new things, this is something that you have to test and see if it works for your hair. Don't just go by my experience. But if you're open to that, I think it would be something good to try. It left my hair very moisturized. Now, the way that I did it was I let the beer go flat. I basically opened up the beer can. I think it was a pretty tall beer can. It wasn't the normal, I don't know what ounce the normal beer cans are, but I put it in a mason jar. I just took it out of the can and I just let it sit overnight so that it could get flat, because when I first poured it, the bubbles were just like, all that was the alcohol. So I was getting it flat and ready to put in my hair, and yet I wasn't ready to wash my hair yet. So I let it go flat a little bit longer. They say about overnight. It was left outside for about 2 days until I was like, okay, let me not waste this. Of course, I went and did a whole bunch of research on Google, like, oh no, did I mess it up? Can I still use it? Is it spoiled? It was fine. I even put it in the fridge for a little bit to hold me to use it later on in the day. So what I did was I used my African Pride pre-poo shampoo, pre-poo treatment, which is something new that I'm trying in addition to the Nature's Little Secret, which is what I have been using for pre-pooing my hair before I shampoo. So I use the African Pride pre-poo, and then after that I took I was in the tub. So definitely let me know if you guys want me to record this, because my hubby's going to have to help me with it as far as the angles, because I was in my tub and I had my head down, and I basically took the mason jar and I just poured it all over my hair. And because it was a good amount, Marissa had suggested for me to put it in a bowl. That's another way that you can do it, and kind of like let your hair, depending on the length of your hair. My hair is short, so I figured it wouldn't be difficult for me to get it to be saturated. But if your hair is longer or is looser or maybe even coarser, you might want to dunk your head in a nice bowl that is full with the beer. So like I said, I took the mason jars and I poured the beer all over my hair, and then I kind of like scrunched out the excess, made sure that all of my hair was saturated, and I let that sit for about 5 minutes. And my hair didn't feel, it felt a little bit like when you put a protein treatment in it, but it wasn't like really hard. So I figured instead of rinsing it out, because they do suggest that after a beer rinse you can use conditioner afterwards. Most people were saying that so that you could not have the smell of beer in your hair. I meant to try it without the conditioner to let you know, but my hair does not smell like beer now. And I did this treatment on, was this Friday or Saturday? I think I did it Saturday. I forgot, y'all. So I put the Bask and Bloom deep hair mask, I think it's called. I'll put a link in the description for you guys, don't worry. I put that in my hair with my hair still drenched with beer, and then I put a shower cap on and I let it do its work. And when I rinsed that out, my hair was so soft and bright. I was like, okay, beer. It actually made my hair more bright than when I used apple cider vinegar, which was interesting to me. So I didn't originally do the beer rinse to brighten my gray hair, but that was a added benefit for me. I'm not sure if you will have that same effect or not, and I have to do a little bit more research as to why that is. I'm figuring, because when I saw the color of the beer, I also was a little nervous. I was like, is this gonna stain my hair, because it's like a amber yellow, but it didn't stain my hair. And if you guys know why, you could also put that in the comments for me too. But let me know, have you ever tried beer in your hair? Have you ever tried a beer rinse? On that live, I remember there were a couple of people who wanted to join me on this beer rinse challenge. I have to go back and see who those were. But if those of you who did want to join in on that are watching this live, please let me know in the comments so that we can try it again. I'm definitely going to be incorporating beer, not for drinking, but for my hair in the future, because I really like the results, especially because I feel like it was a good balance of moisture and strength, because like I said, they do say that beer has a little bit of protein in it, so it can help strengthen your hair. So that's something that you guys, if you're open to trying, it gives you some strength, some moisture, and it may help to brighten your gray hair. So that was something new that I tried, that I was excited at the results. And the second thing that I tried, I've talked to you guys in other videos about how sometimes you might try a product the first time and it doesn't work the way you like, and you'll be ready to kind of like throw it away or be done with it. But sometimes it's the application, the layering of how you do the products. If you use it by itself, maybe it doesn't work as good as when you use it with another product. So my hair, after I washed it, I used my favorite leave-in conditioner, Kinky Curly, Not Today. And after that, I used the Kinky Curly Custard. I figured, let me do a wash and go with just the custard, because I love it for my son's hair. And I love it to put on my edges, because my edges need refreshing daily because I sleep on them and they get kind of rough. And I feel like the Kinky Curly Custard is the gentlest styler that I can put on my edges without it feeling too hard, like if I put Eco Styler. The only thing is, when I put it in my hair, it defines my hair really well, but it doesn't give it body, if that makes sense. So I added Aunt Jackie's Don't Shrink gel on top of it, and I was almost ready to kind of put that in the expired pile, that gel from Aunt Jackie's, but it paired very well with the Kinky Curly Custard. So for some of you, that might be like overload of product, but for my hair, like as you can see, it loved it. It's very defined, and putting the Don't Shrink gel on top of it helped it to not be as, for me to not have as much shrinkage as I would have if I left it alone. So this is now day 2. So I'll let you guys know on my next live how long it lasted, and if I'll use it again. But you got to be open to experimenting with different products and layering things and seeing how it goes. Let me know if you guys have ever used Kinky Curly Custard or Aunt Jackie's Don't Shrink gel. They're really good products. So let me go and look at the comments, and then I have some questions to answer. Where'd my comments go? Hi, Doretha. Okay, here we go. I'm like, where'd my comments go? Hi, everybody. Doretha, Cheryl, Diane. Oh my goodness. Setter. Please remind me how to say your name. I remember you told me before very well. And hi, CP, Stephanie. Thank you for reminding me of your name. Good to see you, everybody. Okay, Cheryl, I think any brand is fine. I don't think it has to be a specific type of beer. Now, when I did my reading, some said that they got a darker beer because it had less alcohol in it. And there was a video, I'm going to find it and put it in the description or the comments for you guys, where she actually boiled her beer so that she can take the alcohol out of it so that it wouldn't dry out her hair. But for me, I didn't feel like I had to do that. Doretha, you love Main Choice Cheers Collection because it's infused with beer. Thank you for letting me know that. So it is a thing. Diane, you're scared to try anything on your hair. I hear you. But you never know until you try. Hi, Brandy. Thank you, Steph. Okay. Doretha said to Diane, that's the only way you're going to learn what your hair doesn't like. Very true. But Diane, you said you've had an experiences that made you feel that way. Okay. Yeah. Well, Diane, I love the phrase that says you either win or you learn. So I totally understand how you don't want to repeat something that didn't work for you. But at the same time, just because something happened one time doesn't necessarily mean those will be the same steps. And maybe what you learned from the last experience can help you to avoid a similar experience. But I want to ask you guys too, do you find that based on the seasons you change your hair routine? I was just thinking about how, even when it comes to our cars, you kind of like winterize your car, right? You get it ready and prepped for the different kind of weather. And I was wondering if you guys do the same with your hair. For me, when I first went natural, I found that I was sticking to a lot of the same products all year round. But as my hair went gray, I noticed that at certain times my hair would be open to certain products, and then other times it's like, no, that's not working for me. So I know I definitely use, I'm a gel girl and I'm a wash and go girl. I don't really do that much with butters or creams and things like that. So one of the questions that someone asked me is, Norma, if you're watching this, you asked, she commented on a video that I recently did. By the way, thank you for all the support of those who've been watching my short videos that I've been putting out. My regular schedule will continue on Mondays, but from Tuesday to Sunday, I've been putting short videos up for this month so that I could build a playlist to direct people to longer videos that I have. Some people who just want the answer short and quick, and who like short form content. So one of those short videos that I did showed me using aloe vera in my hair as a pre-poo. And Norma said that for her, aloe is a humectant for her. So she finds that when she uses it, she gets more frizz. Do you guys find that your hair is very sensitive to humectants? My hair probably is, Norma, but I think because I use gel, that keeps my frizz under control. This area right here tends to get the most frizzy, and I only know that when I don't use gel. If you saw my twist out fail or my perm rod set fail, you'll see how puffy my hair can get without gel, or when it's not defined. So I think that's when I would probably pay more attention to products that have more humectant. But because I use a gel, I don't seem to have that issue. And if you guys have something that you could share with Norma to help her, please put that in the comments. Because that is also something about learning your hair. Sometimes depending on where you live, where you live, like Arizona, which can be very dry, or Florida, which is very humid. My sister, I remember when she was visiting in Florida, had said that her hair loved the moist air. It gave her lots and lots of volume. So you have to consider those things where you live. And even with this colder weather that'll be coming up, dry heat in the house, there's the water that you use on your hair. All those things can affect how your hair performs, how it responds to certain products. So definitely keep that in mind, okay? Belinda had asked me, when I do my wash and goes, do I restyle or refresh my hair? And if I do, how I do it. That was in response to a dry wash and go video that I did using Aunt Jackie's Don't Shrink gel. Now, one thing I will say, guys, and this will also answer Louise's comment if you're watching. I found that when I first went gray and I did the big chop, my hair responds differently than it does right now. Now, my hair is not long, but it's longer than when I first cut it. So things that I used when my hair was shorter is different than the things that I use now. So when my hair was shorter, I felt like I might have refreshed a little bit sooner than I do now with my hair longer, especially when it was just really short. I could wash it every day, and it wasn't that much to put the gel in my hair. And I don't co-wash. I shampoo my hair. I'm trying to think. When I first went natural, I co-washed more then, and that was really nice to just put conditioner in my hair and go. But now I definitely use clays, or I use shampoo. Belinda, with this hairstyle that I have right now, I did my hair Saturday. I probably won't redo my hair again until at least like 2 weeks. My hair will stay. And to me, that is what makes a product. All I have to do, okay, let me explain it this way. The way I refresh my hair in the morning, because I put a satin cap on and my hair is not like this when I first wake up. So let's just be clear about that. It's smashed and mushed. But one of my videos, I showed you guys what I do to refresh my hair is I spray it with water that has distilled water with essential oils, and I put a shower cap on so that it can re-moisturize my hair, reactivate those products, and then I stretch it and fluff and go. So that is my version of refreshing Belinda. I don't add more product into my hair. As I told you guys already, I put Kinky Curly Custard in there and Don't Shrink gel. So I have a lot of product, and once I wet it in the morning and let it have that like steam from the shower cap, that seems to reactivate it, and I have enough in my hair. If I were to need to refresh or add more product, I would use the Flairosol again, wet my hair, and then apply I'd probably apply something like Aunt Jackie's Don't Shrink gel, something that is not too heavy, especially if I'm not going to wash my hair right away. So I hope that answered your question, Belinda. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions to that. But Louise had asked me about maintaining long gray hair versus short gray hair. Louise gave some really great suggestions for future videos. So Louise, I will address the other questions you asked me, but I wanted to talk a little bit about how there is a difference between whether your hair is gray or not, how you maintain your hair when it's long and when it's short. My hair is a lot easier to maintain when it's short, I will tell you that. And yet I am still lazy with washing my hair. Like my last wash day, I think, was 3 weeks ago. I let it go by a little bit too long, but that beer really helped. It really helps soften and bring life back into my hair. So when your hair is longer, you definitely use more product. If you guys have longer hair or shorter hair, let me know too what the difference you feel in maintaining your hair is. For me, I feel the amount of time it takes makes a difference, and also the products. So as my hair gets longer, because my hair is growing up as opposed to down because I have a tapered cut. And do you see, guys, real quick, what I mean, how this side is a lot fuller and this side kind of shrinks in more? I noticed that as my hair grew out. My hair as it gets longer, I find needs a little bit more help to rise. So even though it's growing up and you guys like the height that I get, it still can kind of like get a little bit floppy. So you got to work with it a little bit as it's longer. And I don't know, Louise, if she had natural hair or not. But let me see if you guys have any questions before I move on to the next ones. Hi, Adele. Right. So Diane, you had some bad experiences with hairdressers, and I think you told me that you have hairdressers who do your hair, not yourself. Nora, you said you tried Kinky Curly and you have had the same jar for over 2 years? Wow. Yeah, the Kinky Curly Custard jar goes by so quickly in my house because I use it on my son's hair as well as just using it on his hair, actually. I mean, it's thick enough, but wow, that's something. So does that mean you haven't used it much, Nora? And Diane, you said you think you'll learn it over time. You've learned not to trust hairdressers who don't know what they're doing. I hear you on that, Diane. It's not a good feeling when you're sitting in a chair. I've had that experience, not with gray hair, but with natural hair. And feeling like, oh my goodness, my hair is done. As you see them going with the fine tooth comb or, just like ripping your hair. Doretha said you can't have success without failures. I like that. Okay, Diane, you deal with Jamaica. You deal with Jamaica. You live in Jamaica. I love all the Caribbeans I have here, or I've come to know since starting this channel. So, Diane, do you find that maybe you could even help me, because I feel bad. A lot of times I suggest products for people, I'm in the US. Do you find it easy to get natural hair products where you are? Nora, you tried Curl Boss. It was on clearance for $3. You used it once. Your hair stays moisturized longer. Thank you for letting me know that, Nora. I love when you guys let me know if products work for you or not. Doretha, you're in South Florida, so all you have is summer and you can't use humectants because of the humidity. Yeah, because your hair would be a puffball. Maybe in an area like Arizona, that might be better, even though I've heard of something called rebound issues, like when people use products with glycerin in it. Even though it's dry air sometimes, or is it in the wintertime? It's something that I read that said you still have to be careful with certain humectants, because if the air is dry, it'll be taking that out. I'm probably not explaining it right, but I'll do more research on that. Oh, Diane, I love it. She's like a student ready to learn. I'm so glad you could be on the live. Aw, thank you for your support, Diane. I appreciate you. Okay, Brandy asks, do I deep condition and use a leave-in after every shampoo? I do. I didn't always deep condition after I shampooed. I will say that I always use the leave-in, but I didn't always deep condition. Now I've gotten better with making sure I deep condition. I got real lazy because I knew to deep condition I had to go under the shower cap and then rinse it out again. But my hair appreciates me better when I deep condition it. I'd love to know if there's anybody who doesn't deep condition and doesn't have any problems with moisture with their hair. Hey Des, how are you? Nora, you didn't like kinky custard, so you rarely use it. Okay, that makes sense. What didn't you like about it? Because it can be a little bit sticky. Doretha, your hair is collarbone length and you mostly wear a twist out and have to retwist and remoisturize every other day. Thank you for sharing that. And my sister also, I will say, Belinda, if I didn't do my hair in wash and goes, I would need to do more maintenance with it than with the wash and go. And I think that's another reason why I've been lazy to explore other type of hairstyles, because they don't last as long as the wash and go. And with a little busy young boy and trying to homeschool him, it's nice to just do my hair once and all I have to do is that refresh routine that I told you guys in the morning. But yeah, if I had my hair in twists, I would have to redo it also. The one nice thing though about twisting and things like that, it does give my hair more stretch. And one way I think I was able to avoid having to retwist is putting it in a puff. I don't know if you do that too, Doretha. Okay, Diane, you said it's not easy to get the brands I use. Yeah. That's good, Diane. We can work together so that you can help me help those in the Caribbean area, because there are others who've come on my live and asked me if that's something they could find in their area, and I feel bad because, I'm not from there, so I don't know. Even though I do have a blog post that has some resources for those in Trinidad. I'm not sure about Jamaica. I think it was Trinidad I found, some in Canada. Resources for different ones. Doretha, you can't wash and go. Your hair tangles too badly. I get it. My sister said wash and go is not for her. So, you do what works for you. And Brandy, you're welcome. You've been deep conditioning most of the time, using a leave-in all of the time. Just make sure you're not overdoing it. That was a mistake that I made when I first went natural. I used to deep condition overnight, and my hair would be mushy. I mean, what I thought it was moisturized, it was over moisturized. So I don't do that anymore. But yeah, you're right. You have to have that balance. And sometimes, I mean, there are conditioners, especially from Shea Moisture, because I love their conditioners, that you can just use. You just keep in your hair for 1 to 3 minutes while you're showering, and you rinse that out. If you do that after a shampoo, that's just as well too. But maybe like once or twice a month, making sure you get that deep condition is helpful also. So let me get to another question here, and then I'll come back to you guys. My Miracle 79 says, do I use any other clays on my hair? She was responding to a video I did about kaolin clay, which is awesome for gray hair. And I actually have a video coming out tomorrow for you guys. It's a short one showing you how I use kaolin clay and green tea. So make sure you look out for that tomorrow at 3. But My Miracle 79, I do use other clays in my hair. I use Rasul clay and bentonite clay in addition to the kaolin. Now, which one do I use the most? I would say bentonite and then kaolin second, because I do like how it helps to brighten the gray hair. And that kind of corresponds with Sport Angel V had asked, why do some people not like purple shampoos? And one of the reasons that I know, or that I've heard a lot, is they're afraid of it staining their hair. So that's why kaolin clay is a great alternative, because it's white. And I used it with the green tea, which I heard is very good for shedding, or if you're having any hair fall or like hair loss, because it helps to block the hormone, I think, that's responsible for hair loss. DHT, I think it is. So when I had Shauna on the channel and we did an interview, she was talking about tea rinses. So that's similar to like the beer rinse. But I put it together with the kaolin clay because I figured, I don't know why I thought my hair might go green or I didn't want it to stain. So I mixed the two together and it came out really well. Like I said, you guys are going to see that tomorrow. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why people may not like purple shampoo. Another reason is that purple shampoo, depending on the brand that you choose, can be drying to your hair. So that's why I also like that they have available purple conditioners, because I feel like you can use that more frequently. I use a purple conditioner weekly. I didn't use it this past week, but I use that more frequently than I do shampoo. So those are the two big reasons that I think some people are not, they don't like purple shampoo, because they could stain, or because it's drying. And I feel like two of those things can be worked with by one. When it comes to the staining, do a patch test. Maybe get a purple shampoo that's not too deeply pigmented. Also, I've heard you can add conditioner with it to kind of like, I guess, dilute the pink so it's not as strong. And then that will help to avoid it. And that goes in line with the second reason, which is it could be drying. If you put a conditioner with it, or definitely deep condition afterwards, that can help offset the drying that may happen. With the Pantene shampoo that I have, or that I use, I didn't find it to be drying. So I think it also depends on the brand, and that's different for each person. Some people like the Pantene that I suggested, some didn't care for it or didn't see a result. So again, our favorite word, you got to test and you got to see what works for your hair. And another thing I was going to mention about purple products, what was I going to say? Another thing that someone suggested to me, I forget who, but they said that when you're using purple shampoo, if you put it in your hand and you kind of like get it lathered up before you put it on your hair, that can also help to avoid with the staining. because the purple pigment is what helps to offset any yellowing. So if you just kind of put that straight on your hair and you don't test and see how long before it can stain or not, then that's when you might have some problems. So again, patch test is helpful. You could try a certain piece of your hair that's not as noticeable. If you have a white strip or white hair like me, I definitely suggest you do a patch test, because I feel like the white hair is the most porous and easily to be stained. And yet, for me, my white hair loves purple shampoo the most. It really does. Now, with this beard that I just told you guys that I put in my hair, I found that my salt and pepper hair really loved that. So, yeah. So let me see here. Okay. Thank you, Diane. I'm looking forward to collaborating with you on that. Des, you big chopped again. You thought you'd be doing twist outs and braid outs. All you did was put it back in buns and a puff cuff, praying for your edges to come back. Oh, that is hard. I mean, puffs and buns are definitely easy. And another thing I notice to be able to help you with the edges is massaging, and black castor oil is really helpful. We're going to talk a little bit more about some things that could help with edges. Diane, awesome. Nora, you said kinky curly doesn't hold the curl or moisture. Okay. Yeah, it's I wonder too, is your hair long, Nora? I forgot if you told me that, because my son's hair is short. So if my hair was longer, I don't feel that I probably would use kinky curly custard all over my hair. But when it's short, it's perfect. And especially I love it from my edges, like I said. Diane, Doretha said to check Amazon. They do ship to Jamaica. Thank you for that, Doretha. Hi, Natalie. You're transitioning to gray. Let's give Natalie a little clap. That's exciting. You're in month 8 now. That's good. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your story, Natalie. That's awesome. You made it 8 months. Which month was the hardest for you, Natalie? I'd love to know. Okay, so Diane says that Amazon does ship to Jamaica, but it's the whole customs and cutthroat charges. Any package over 50 has custom fees. You know, it's so easy for me to forget about those things. Thank you for putting that in there, Diane. Des, you said thanks. That's exactly what you've been doing, massaging. Good. Aloe vera gel is also good. Great. Diane, you said yes. Lathering purple shampoo before placing it in the hair. Okay. Was it you who told me that, Diane? I'm not sure. Maybe it was you who told me that. Okay, so another question that I'm going to answer that someone left is from Lynn David. She asked about the temporary wax that I use on my hair at times. She asked if I applied that on my hair, on freshly washed hair, or afterwards. I have tried it on dirty hair, and I also have tried it on freshly washed hair. So it depends on you, Lynn. You can do it on freshly washed hair or dirty hair also. I found when I did it all over on freshly washed hair that worked better. But I've been using it lately if I do notice any yellowing as like a spot treatment. So that sometimes I'll do if my hair is not freshly washed. But I do wet my hair so that it can apply better. And someone else asked me something. I think it was Charlene who said I don't know if it was Charlene or not, you had asked how you can allow your gray hair to come in without it looking dull. And that was a great question. I'm not sure or not if she's dealing with any grombre, because sometimes when you're dealing with the grombre, it can be hard to get that bright, looking gray that you want, because you have so many different colors going on. I didn't use purple shampoo while I was transitioning out of my colored hair, but I know some people who do. And I've heard that blue shampoo or conditioner helps to offset orange tones, whereas purple helps with the yellow. So that's good to know as far as like the colors are concerned. But I think the temporary waxes are helpful also. Like I said, the one from Gemini Naturals gives you a deep, rich, like gunmetal kind of gray, as opposed to the Mofajang that I use. That one gives a more like whitish, it gives you a brighter gray look. So that might be, similar to when our hair wasn't gray. If you guys had like darker hair, sometimes you would give a rinse or something like that to give it a little bit of shine, right? So I'm thinking, even when it comes to our gray hair, if you want it to look a little bit brighter, there might be something that you can use to give it a little pop, that's not permanent and it doesn't, mess up your hair. Natalie, you said it's hard because you're impatient. You said months 4 to 6 were the hardest. And look at you, you got through it. You're in month 8. Thank you for sharing that, Natalie. It's so funny because if I had to sit and think, when I look back at pictures, I'm like, ooh. Like the beginning, I think the first couple of weeks, like that hairline where I would usually just run for a bottle of rinse was really hard for me. But as it started to grow, I would forget about it sometimes. But and then once the last couple of pieces were left, that was also annoying for me. So I could definitely see where impatience can come in. Nora, your hair is long, but it can shrink to the length on the hair on top of my head. I hear you. Shrinkage can be real. So because of that, that could be another reason why the kinky curly just wasn't for you. What stylers do you like to use, Nora? And I'm not sure if you said, Nora, that you are the one who does twist outs or not. No, that was Des. Thanks for hyping up Natalie. Okay. Yeah, Jamaican black castor oil is awesome. It's very thick, but I've used it on my edges before, and that has helped to be able to grow it back. A lot of people speak highly of it, so it's good, Diane. Hey Khadijah, how are you? This is another beautiful butterfly, or a diamond. Natalie, you said your first 3 months you were consumed with COVID and being isolated, so the gray didn't bother you then. That's true. That's a good distraction. For me, having a being a mom for the first time and having a little one, that really helped me to be distracted. I was happy I didn't have to deal with much maintenance with my hair because it was short, as well as I didn't have to color it. So that, I think, is why I was able to forget and be like, oh yeah, I'm not dyeing my hair anymore. Good point, Doretha. Jamaican black castor oil is also helpful with thickening the hair. And Nora, or I forgot who was talking about edges. That quickly, I forgot. Some people had said, for me, my edges were really bad when I was perming them and when I was coloring them. I think especially when I was coloring them, because I did the hairline the most often. I found when I stopped doing that, my edges grew back better. Let me know if you guys had that same experience. Like you noticed a better health to your hair after you stopped dyeing it. Okay, so I have two more questions to answer. One is from Sherry Blaylock. She asks where I get my essential oils from. Sherry, if you're watching this, you could email me at nina@naturallygraceful.com. I could give you a resource if you want to get some really high grade essential oils. But I also just go to Whole Foods and get them from there in their, I don't know what section you call that, like the vitamins and stuff like that. I get my essential oils from there, and I get them when they're on sale. So that is where I mostly get my essential oils. But if you want to get like a Young Living or something like that, essential oils, let me know. Because I had somebody from there send me a kit, and they did like a customized essential oils for me. They asked me what my pain points were, allergies, aches and pains, things like that. And they made their own like mixtures for me. So if you want something like that, you could email me and I'll pass that on to you. Davina asked, do I see the need to give gray areas of my hair more moisture and attention? Yes. Like this area right here definitely needs more attention. And because my hair is so mixed, it's not like all white or all gray. I give it all moisture, but I definitely make sure moisture is the key factor there. If you have like a streak or it's a little bit more concentrated, you might just want to focus on that a little bit more. I definitely know that I treat this area differently when it comes to purple shampoos as opposed to the rest of my hair. Do you guys notice for yourselves too? Like you Khadijah, because Khadijah has a beautiful, like it's literally a crown. She doesn't have it so much underneath, but she has like gray all around on the top. So I remember she said if she wore it in a ponytail, you couldn't really see it, but all on the top, it's so pretty. Have you been putting the scissors down, Khadijah, by the way? So do you guys find that you give your certain gray parts of your hair a little bit more attention than others? I think even when I went natural, I found that certain parts of my hair, like back here, needed a little different attention than the sides or the top part. When it comes to detangling, the back is what gives me the most issue. The front is so easy, so I actually do that last. And the last question is from Charlene. She asked me if on my clay video, if that was a recipe for hair growth. Now, using clay is really good for clarifying, and that helps cleanse your scalp, which is good for hair growth. You need a clean scalp for your hair to grow. I didn't use it specifically for hair growth. When it comes to hair growth, I'm actually going to do another dedicated video on that. But what's helpful, I feel, is what you do with your hair, the products that you put in there, and massaging. Massaging and getting circulation is a real big thing to be able to help your hair to grow, from what I'm learning. Like and I don't suggest this for everybody, especially if you have blood pressure issues or consult with your doctor, but I've heard that inverting your head or putting it upside down and letting the blood rush a little bit can help to bring that circulation back to your scalp, and that helps with hair growth. Teas help, Ayurvedic herbs, things like that, oils. So to me, I don't look at clay to grow my hair. I really think about it to cleanse, make sure my scalp is cleansed and I have a healthy scalp. Now, if you have a healthy scalp, then you are more likely to have hair growth. So it all ties together. Natalie, you said you find that you treat your entire head as if it's all gray because your gray hair needs more conditioning. Well said. I feel the same way, especially because it's all over the place. Like I definitely just make sure I am giving it lots of moisture, and brightening it. Nora, you've been doing DIY of shea butter, olive oil, tea tree, and sometimes you use Carol's Daughter hair milk. You're thinking about trying Uncle Funky's curl stimulator. Ooh, you're going to like it if you do. Well, actually, let me not say that. I like it a lot. So I'm hoping that you like it, but I love that curl stimulator. Now, recently I hopped on the YouTube bandwagon of trying the S-Curl. Oh my goodness, what's that called? Curl activator. And I have a video, I have some footage of it, but I'm going to try it again and see if I get different results. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't what I thought. Like, I feel like Uncle Funky's curl stimulator is a better activator for my hair than the S-Curl was. But I'll be showing you guys more on that later. Natalie, you asked, have I used tea on my hair and not experienced staining? Yes. Like I said, I have a video coming out tomorrow, Natalie. It's a short video, but it's me using green tea and kaolin clay. Green tea is good for our hair strands, and I've also heard chamomile is a less likely tea to stain your hair, so you can try that. But I tried the green tea and kaolin clay and my hair was fine. I mixed it with the kaolin clay because I felt like the white would offset any color situation that might happen. Ayurvedic herbs and things like that is so good for our hair, but I'm like Diane, and I'm really scared to try on my hair because I don't want it to stain, because a lot of it, a lot of people who I even watch who are using it have black hair, or really dark hair. So some things can be staining, Natalie, but I believe you can experiment and try the kaolin clay in there and see if that'll help offset some of the staining, at least with the green tea. And that's why I think I did one video telling you guys that I use the temporary wax, because oils are good. Now, I do a lot of hot oils. Char Naturals has some oils that have teas in them. It's like tea infused oil. That might be something that you want to try, Natalie. But do you have kaolin clay, Natalie? I mean, you can try the green tea too and see what happens. I'm not sure how your gray is coming in. Is it salt and pepper or is it patchy? Des, you said blast from the past. It is, right? You've been afraid. Clay is a good idea. Yeah, I get it, Natalie. One of the nice things about trying the temporary color waxes is I've been less likely to be afraid to try things like oils or maybe some things, because I know that maybe I could offset it with the temporary color. But Erica Johnston, she's a gray-haired beauty on here. She recently tried something on her hair, poor thing, and it turned her hair pink. That I don't want to happen to my hair. And I love that she did a video letting people know what went wrong. And she was able to get the color out somehow. But I totally get the caution that you have about using certain products, because you don't want to mess up all that hard work that you've been doing for 8 months, right? Oh, bentonite is awesome, isn't it, Natalie? Okay. Let me know how you like it if you try it. Nora, you said that's why you're thinking about trying Uncle Funky's curl stimulator, because you like it and your curl pattern looks like mine. Okay, yeah. Try it and see how it goes. I love that curl stimulator paired with the Aunt Jackie's Curl Boss. Like, those two are like meant to be together for my hair. So I'd love to see how your hair likes it, Nora. And I think I've tried the curl stimulator by itself. And again, when my hair was shorter, I got a different result as opposed to when it's longer. And of course, my hair is short now, but again, remember, look at how long it is. I get lots of shrinkage too. So trying to put product all the way down is a lot different than when your hair is like this long. So that's something to keep in mind if anybody has done a big chop or they have a really short cut. Natalie, your crown is gray and now you have a black streak, but you started with a gray streak. That's the same for me. Like this, I can't believe this is being overpowered because it started off with this guy and or this gal. I forgot. Danetta gave my hair, I think she called it Lady Sparkle. I think that was the name that she gave for my hair, but I think they call it Malin, Mallen, Malin streak. You wind up having the opposite effect. Instead of having a white streak, you have a darker hair. Natalie, you said she's adorable. You saw that. Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Yes, Nora, it went pink. I think she used overtone or something like that, and she was trying something, and it wasn't hot pink, but it wasn't. Her hair is like so beautiful, and it just left the tinge on there. But now she must have did something. I think a subscriber helped her, and it doesn't look as pink as it did when she first tried it. But yeah, we got to be careful with some of the things that we put in our hair. But we're gonna be closing up. I'm gonna be wrapping up soon, guys. So is there any other questions that I could answer for you while I'm still here? Yes, Nora, please let me know when you use it. That would be great to know. Like I said, I love when you guys let me know what you've tried and if it works for you. Because then I could say, well, it's not just me that it works for. And it's funny because my son has a different hair texture. My husband has a different curl pattern, and I do. And my husband only uses Uncle Funky's curl stimulator for his hair, and it works awesome. But he has a looser curl pattern than I do. For my son, I've used the curl stimulator on his hair. It wasn't bad, but it didn't define his hair like the Kinky Curly Custard. I mean, that custard is light enough and heavy enough at the same time for his hair, for his curl pattern. Hi, Gwendolyn. Nice to have you here. Are you, have you stopped dyeing your hair? Are you on a gray hair journey? I'll chat with you for a little bit before I wrap up here. Another thing I want to tell you guys, as I'm waiting to hear if you have any more questions, is the importance of taking care of yourself. I mean, we hear it all the time, but you know, things have changed so much in our lives within the past couple of months, and I also want to thank those of you who let me know that you just started your transition this year. There have been so many who have contacted me and let me know that they started their transition pretty much when the stay-at-home orders and things like that just started. And it's just so nice to hear, to be along the journey with you guys. But it's important for us to take care of ourselves. And my sister would say this to me all the time, like, your hair care is a part of your self-care. And when you're feeling down or you're feeling depressed, I don't know if that's the same for you guys, but it's like the self-care sometimes is the first thing to go. And guys, it's so easy for me to start crying. I'm like, but you know, you kind of underestimate how just doing your hair can make you feel good. And, you know, it can be a lot of steps to it and you may not feel like doing it. But man, when you get your hair, either you go and get it done or you do it yourself, it makes you feel good. Look at that. See, Gwendolyn just started in January. You're about to be a year soon from stopping your dye. Which month would you say, or what was the hardest part for you, Gwendolyn? But yeah, take care of yourself. When you take care of your take care of your hair. It definitely, like things like that, you know, washing your face, brushing your teeth, flossing, you know, just little normal things that we're supposed to do to keep up our hygiene. Those things are, I didn't realize how much they add to your well-being. I had someone, it might have been Diane or it might have been someone else on Instagram. If you're watching this, they sent me a video of a woman who had matted hair. I had never seen matted hair like that. I mean, like it was just lots of buildup and just it was in bad shape. And the woman who was narrating was the hairdresser, but she was so compassionate. And she said, if somebody comes to you with hair like this, she was speaking, I guess, to other hairdressers. She's like, don't make them feel bad. She's like, you don't realize what you can do for a person like that who's let themselves go. In this particular case, this woman had depression. And she was just so kind and like didn't shame her. But the way her hair looked afterwards and how she felt, it's just like sometimes when you know you're not doing well, a red flag could be if how well you're taking care of yourself, down to your hair and, you know, just normal hygiene type things. And, you know, wintertime is coming. This stay-at-home thing or what's been going on has been going on for a while. So just giving you guys a reminder, myself included, how important it is to take care of ourselves. Okay, the demarcation. Is it getting a little bit easier, Gwendolyn, the demarcation at this point? You've been natural for 10 years, so now you're going gray. Brandy, you stopped dyeing your hair August 6th. Let's give Brandy and Gwendolyn a clap. You're excited to take your braids out next week to see what they look like. Yay! If you're so inclined, Brandy, you can email me a picture. I'd love to see what your hair looks like. I'm excited for you. Hi, Elle. Getting your I think you meant getting your hair done, or is self-care. You're trying to find out what's going to be your styling choice. Thank you, Des. I appreciate you. It was you, Diane. I so appreciated that. You know, it was beyond just a how to help somebody who had a lot of buildup and matting in their hair. It was just the compassion that this woman showed for this woman, that, you know, she didn't need to be shamed, but that, you know, it showed that she was really going through something, that she didn't, you know, do her hair for that long. Doretha, getting your hair done, putting on makeup and a look in the mirror, it will lift your spirits. I agree. Like I knew I was coming on to see you guys, and I put a little makeup on, put on my hoops. I even put some lashes on. I haven't done that in quite a bit, because, you know, I love lashes and a good lipstick. So just little things, you know, just give you a little pep. They don't define who you are. They don't, you know, if you don't wear them, it doesn't mean you're not beautiful, but little things can help pep you up. Brandy, you're excited and a little afraid. That makes sense. And what's interesting, Brandy, is excitement and fear both give you the same reaction in your body. It's actually what we think about it that determines whether it's excitement or fear. But it's totally understandable because this is new. Diane said, nice, Brandy. You've been braiding your hair since 2018. Nice. I can't wait to see what it turns out to, Diane. Okay, guys, so I'm going to wrap up now. I thank you all so much for coming on here. I thank you for your awesome questions. I thank you for the way you show up for one another. If there's someone that you see who's out there who you could tell might be transitioning, just let them know, oh, I love your hair. Sometimes just a little compliment like that can lift somebody up too. So I appreciate the way you guys clap for each other and give each other support on here. And like I said, from Tuesday to Sunday, I'm going to be doing the shorts, the short videos. So don't be alarmed. A normal video will be back up on Monday, and that'll be going on for the next 2 weeks. And tomorrow's video will be about the green tea and the kaolin clay. So make sure you guys check that out and let me know what you think. Also, let me know if you'd like me to do a future video about the beer rinse. As always, I appreciate you all. Any who take the time to click on this video and watch, I appreciate your support. And then for those of you who take the time to comment and tell me your story, I appreciate you as well. So, let's just get one more comment here. Des said, the cool thing about transitioning this time of year is if you don't feel 100% comfy, you can throw on a winter hat. Yep. Or a turban or a head wrap and still look cute and fly, right? So you guys remember to show yourself compassion, take care of yourselves, embrace the wings that you're given. You are not your hair. You are more than your hair. This is more than about your gray hair journey. It's about giving yourself love and compassion. So again, I appreciate all of your support and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Hey, Sheila. Good to see you. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks again.